Just about live streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and let the public in now. We are officially live on YouTube. Raylan, would you be willing to share the YouTube link just in case so people have it if they need it?
No problem.
All right, thanks. Good. I'm just gonna make sure I'm good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. See a lot of friends in the room. Thank you for being here, Suzanne. Thank you for being here, Sherwin, Rhonda. Thank y'all for being here, John. Thank you as well. We're actually, all right, we got a few people coming in. I'm just gonna take a second, let people come in. For those who are joining us on YouTube, be sure to like and share or something like that, whatever they say on YouTube. I'm gonna learn at some point. Uh, I just want to keep, Raylan, are you keeping an eye on the comments on YouTube? Okay, cool, because I have three screens open. I'm gonna try to look at the camera, but we are whatever they say on YouTube. All right. I'm good. Okay, great. Well, I'm gonna jump in. It's 6:03. I'll keep an eye on our on the waiting room to make sure no one's here. Keep an eye on the chat. And I'm going to just quickly offer a welcome. So again, welcome to episode 2 of North End Live. I am Councilwoman Melody Kelly. I represent District 2 of Sandy Springs. Think of it as the northwesternmost section of the city. And this is, like I said, episode 2. I am not a natural at this, but I am getting better. So in advance, I want to definitely ask you for your grace as I am experimenting with this new frontier of engagement. North End Live is a virtual community conversation where you can hear updates, ask questions, and engage directly in real time. So, again, welcome and thank you all for giving me a piece of your Friday evening. This meeting is jam packed. I am so excited. I can't, y'all, this is the highlight of my week. I'm being honest. Okay, because I have some rock stars here today that can talk to us about transportation, but not just transportation. What we want to recognize is that, hey, in terms of the North End, we border a river and we border another rock star city, the city of Roswell. And so with that, I am just so elated to have Councilwoman Jennifer Philippi here, who actually, she's not only a councilwoman, she is the infrastructure liaison with the city of Roswell. So she is the council person for transportation stuff. We also have members of the public works team for city of Roswell, and I'll have everyone kind of briefly introduce themselves so that we can kind of make connections and begin building a relationship. And then we also have members from the Georgia Department of Transportation, their project management team. So I'm going to give everybody a second to just tell us who they are and just so the community kind of knows who everyone is. And then we'll jump into a conversation about a couple of key projects that are actually going to impact North Sandy Springs. Councilwoman Philippi, take it away.
Thanks, Councilwoman Kelly. I'm happy to be here with you. So you and I have known each other for a couple of years now, but I am a newly elected in Roswell. I was just sworn in on January 5th. So a lot of this information will be new to me as well. And I'm excited to learn and hear from you.
Great. And you have with you Mr. Greg Nicholas from the city of Roswell.
Yeah, good evening. Greg Nicholas. I'm the Deputy Director for the Transportation Department. I've been with the city almost 12 and a half, going on 13 years as of this summer. So excited to be here, and we'll talk a little bit about State Route 9 Gateway Project.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Anye Bosi. Did I say it right? Nope, I did. Anye
Yes,
Bosi. I
you
did?
said it right.
Okay, okay,
Yes, you
thank
did.
you.
You're welcome. So my name is Olo Anyebus. I'm with Office of Program Delivery in Georgia DOT. These two projects is under within my district.
Thank you for being here. Mr. Anyabosi, is there anyone else here from your team on the call? I know,
I think it's just me
is it
from
just you? Okay, there were just a few names. I wasn't sure. Is there anyone else from GDOT or the city of Roswell who maybe I didn't acknowledge? Okay, great. Now I want to make sure, let me check my sharing settings. I just want to make sure that folks have the ability to share the screen if they need to, but let's kick off. Let me just set the stage here. We're going to have a conversation, what I believe is the start of probably a multi-year conversation about several projects. So you'll remember last month, the topic of conversation in North Sandy Springs was a project that we call the Roswell Road North Boulevard project. That's essentially a transportation improvement, streetscaping project. The scope of that, or the geographic proximity, the limitations of that project are Roswell Road from Dunwoody Place north to the river. Okay, but what we're going to talk about today is not that project, but potentially two other projects that complement it toward the north. So that's going to be the historic Roswell Road, not Roswell Road, the historic Roswell Gateway project. My apologies. Covering SR9, which is State Route 9. We call it Roswell Road. I think in the city of Roswell, it's Atlanta Street. From Chattahoochee River to Marietta Street, and also the Chattahoochee bridge replacement. So we're going to talk about those two projects today. And for those of you who have been around for a while, you know that those definitely aren't Sandy Springs projects. So I'm just grateful to have you guys in the room who can speak to that in more detail. Let's start with the historic Gateway project. What can you tell us about that? Mr. Nicholas, did you want to start us off?
Yeah, and I'll maybe share my screen.
Okay, can you make sure you have that? I think you should have the ability, but I'm not sure.
It says disabled right now.
It does? Okay, let me figure that out. Thank you. Shoot. Stop. Put in waiting room. Hold on, just give me 1 sec. Go to settings, share screen. Video sharing, auto. Okay, just wanted to see if I can allow you to share your screen. This should not be a problem. Share all windows from an application. Share entire. Okay, and it does say you cannot share. Let me post. Oh, here we go. Host only, all participants. Got it. All right, you should be good to go. My apologies, guys. I'm new to this. Give me a little grace. Okay, thanks.
Let's see. All right. I'm just going to share. All right, can you all see that?
We do. Yes, we do. Thank you. I was hoping you pull this up.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, so the State Route 9 Historic Gateway Project in the city of Roswell, it does start essentially at the bridge at the Chattahoochee River. If any of you are familiar, if you've driven north of Sandy Springs and come up into Roswell, we do have a reversible lane system that starts essentially once you cross into Roswell, and it goes all the way up to almost State Route 120. So this project is aimed to remove those lanes. It's one of the last reversible lane system on a state route in the state. It's very definitely a high number of crashes, and that's one of the biggest things for making this 4 lanes and removing the reversible lanes. So yeah, so there's a lot going on down at the river, and I'll zoom in here in a second. But as you can see, we're essentially, kind of carrying, the boulevard theme, through from, what Sandy Springs is doing, continue in through Roswell, going up the hill. And then as you approach the top of the hill here, we actually do have some operational improvements with 2 multi-lane roundabouts, at one at Chattahoochee Street and one at King Circle. And then it goes on up to State Route 120, and that is the end of the project. So a lot going on down here. Let me zoom in down near the river here. I'll apologize. It is a large file, so it takes. So down by the river, that's where we have the grade separation going in. So right now we do have a 4-way intersection that does not operate very efficiently right now. So it is being converted to a grade separated intersection where Riverside Road will actually go underneath State Route 9. And if you want to get on State Route 9, you will essentially go to another roundabout down here and then come up to State Route 9 and then go south or north, depending on where you want to go. And then similarly, when you're coming down south on State Route 9, you'll turn left here, come down this new connector road, come to the roundabout, and then go east or west on Riverside or Azalea, depending on where you're going. This project has been around for quite a while. Like most transportation projects, these do not happen very quickly. So this project, I believe, started around 2008, 2009. And at this point, we are in right-of-way acquisition. So GDOT, this is a GDOT project. The design is being led by the city of Roswell, but the right-of-way and construction is being completed by the Georgia Department of Transportation. So right now, GDOT is in right-of-way. They're acquiring, the right-of-way throughout the corridor. We just got our environmental clearances last July for this project. And honestly, that's, one of the biggest hurdles with this project has been the environmental clearances. We do have a national park. It's a great asset in our city, but it's also a tremendous challenge when you are talking roadway improvements adjacent to it. But we have a good relationship with National Park, and we've made some great strides in the last, I would say, 6 to 12 months in the advancement of this project. So right now, GDOT's schedule to let this project for construction in spring of 2027. So we're about a year away from this project being let for construction. And then as far as construction timeline, we're probably looking at around 4 years for construction time. It hasn't been nailed down yet, but my assumption at this point is that we're probably looking around 4 years. And I know we'll be kind of finalizing that with GDOT, over the next 12 months. So if it lets in 2027, we're kind of looking at this being substantially complete by 2031 is kind of the goal at this point, which is about, it's about 20 years or so, a little over 20 years since it started. But we're definitely excited to get this moving. This project has been around for a while. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you guys might have about this project.
Yes, I will. I'm gonna let the audience, if there are, I know we have a few. I know the people in the audience personally. We have some curious folk in the audience. Let's see. Rhonda, Suzanne, you got anything for us? Sherwin, before I ask a couple? Okay, just don't want to. All right, I wanted to ask about pedestrian facilities on the project. We're going to talk about that in just a second, Rhonda. Um, the, the the project that you just showed,
Yeah.
the portion that's near the river that is a part of this project. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a multi-use trail, 10-foot multi-use trail that goes from that new connector road. Let's see, I'll just share my screen again. We do have multi-use trail going up the east side of State Route 9, starting here, down here at the intersection. And it'll go, it's on the east side going all the way up. And it basically continues all the way. It narrows down to 8 feet in some spots, up top, primarily where we've got a large number of businesses and whatnot. But it's, generally 8 to 10 feet. It does go all the way up to State Route 120. Where we do have some pedestrian connections and whatnot there. We also have a multi-use trail that goes down the new connector street and goes to the roundabout here on Riverside and Azalea, and that will connect into our Riverside Park area. And I'll say that is also important. We actually have another project that's T-SPLOST 2 funded that is actually getting ready to go out to bid within the next couple weeks. So aiming to go in construction this summer, last about 2 years. And that is going to make continuous multi-use trail and some buffered bike lanes, essentially starting at Riverside Park and going east over to Old Alabama. Old Alabama Road. So a lot of pedestrian connections. We do have, I think we're doing a pedestrian hybrid beacon here near the apartments to allow people to cross over and get to the multi-use trail. And then we also have, pedestrian crossings at the roundabouts. We're exploring maybe a mid-block crossing up here at some point. It may not be part of this project, but it may be done in the future. Yes, a lot of pedestrian connections and connectivity.
Yeah, so this, I'm just looking at a few questions in the chat. I do want to say, I want to chime in here. So in terms of timeline, we are scheduled to let our construction 2029 with the Roswell World North Boulevard project is smaller than this. So I think we'll finish around the same time. But we're scheduled to start construction around 2029, and in terms of scope, how it matches up, it's similar, but we have slightly different challenges. Suzanne, you probably know we are planning, and I can talk about this in a separate meeting. We can do a deep dive into that project, but we're planning just an overview of what we're planning. There is a signalized intersection at North River Parkway and a cut-through street that will prevent left turns from Roberts Drive. So a cut-through street connecting Roberts Drive, North River Parkway. The project contains medians. Raylan, would you be willing to pop the Roswell Road North Boulevard project link in the chat for everyone? So then you can kind of compare those two. Before we talk about the bridge, let me ask the relationship. So this is the city of Roswell's project, and GDOT is letting the construction. Is that the way it?
Yes, yeah. So this is a GDOT let project. Like I said, so the design consultant is under contract through the city of Roswell, but everything is following the GDOT PDP, the plan development process. there's funding coming from various places, but GDOT is funding construction. They funded right away. City of Roswell has also been involved in some grants through ARC that's also being applied to this project. So a lot of people involved.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Mr. Anyabosi, did you want to chime in or?
Yes, regard to I know Greg mentioned the laser construction in spring. I think based on what we have in our system here, I think at the point we are looking at spring, but due to that you mentioned the MPS parcel, which is a critical part. So right now, we're looking at fall, but that's the worst case scenario. We're looking at fall. Just just let you guys know worst
Okay,
case
so
scenario.
fall.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
the MPS parcel is a critical part. That's what delaying the project.
gotcha. All right, so fall 27 at the latest for you all as far as let-in construction.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay, great. All right, now it's time to talk about the potential for the SR9 bridge replacement at the Chattahoochee River. Who wants to take it away? Okay. Don't answer at once. Okay.
So, I mean, what I'll say, Roswell just found out about the bridge replacement. I would say in the last month or so. I think along with Sandy Springs, we've been in contact with I know Kristen over at Sandy Springs, and from my understanding, GDOT is putting out an RFQ
Y'all hear that,
to
community?
begin scoping for the bridge replacement, and that's supposed to happen this spring. And I know a lot more activity will kind of begin on that. And I don't know if Olu can speak to it, but I think right now the projected let date for that is somewhere in the 2030, 2032 range.
So let me, you just did something really huge and I purposely underplayed this. You all, huge announcement. The bridge is back on the books. All right, let's do some celebration emojis. Suzanne, you know what bridge we're talking about. We're talking about the Roswell Road Bridge over the Chattahoochee River. That's the one we're talking about, Suzanne. Yes, it's back on.
And will humans, and there will be a way for humans to safely walk and bike?
It will naturally include a multi-use path to complement the other sides.
Yay!
Yeah. So it's in the works too. And I'm sorry, Greg, for cutting you off. And Mr. Bosi, if you would like to chime in as well. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I just wanted to give the community a moment to take that in. Take it in, y'all. It's back. Okay.
Easier for us to visit one another.
Yeah. Right. And hold on, before y'all start, let me say one more thing. I want to invite you all back to a future meeting because I want to talk to you about all the stuff we have planned on our side of the river, not just the Roswell Road North Boulevard, but some private things. We have some things you're going to want to walk to. That's what I'm telling you. It's going down over here, Jennifer. I'm telling you. Okay, cool. All right. Now back to the bridge. Sorry, guys. It's a big deal.
It's okay.
You're saying we need to take it to the bridge, Melody?
And so, let me just say, Suzanne is one of the residents who is, Suzanne, how long would you say you've been hearing about the bridge? Would you give it a
Since I
decade?
moved here in 2010.
Okay, there you go. 16 years. There it is. All right. Sorry. Mr. Anya Bosi, I think you were about to say something.
Yeah, so like Greg mentioned, yeah, the replacement just being programmed. So right now, the scoping phase, that's what we are working on right now. Just being programmed. We have our bridge consultant group is 100 the project. So we're looking at maybe summer or fall to start the scoping activity. That's what
All
we're
right, and
looking
that
at.
would be 26, summer or fall 26 scoping
Yes,
study.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So are you comfortable speaking more broadly to what that sort of timeline looks like? If we're scoping is really, really, really early in a project. I know that much. But any if scoping is
Uh,
starting this year, then what can the community realistically, right, expect?
yeah, so like Greg mentioned, yeah, the construction we're looking at, 2032, that's where. So but right now we just want to start the scoping to see, see where things. That'll give us an idea the funding, the cost, what is going to be because right now the cost is more like program cost, but the scoping will give us a good idea what will be the actual cost, and then what the timeline is gonna look like based on what you're gonna need to do to construct the project. So once we scoping normally takes most cases 12 months to get a concept report approved. So once we get that, then we have a good picture, and then we're going to preliminary phase, which is going to be where the details are going to come about. But then that's where we're going to have a good idea the schedule and the fund what it's going to cost.
Okay. Let me ask, do you think there's an appetite, or will there be an interest in or is there a benefit to coordinating with the projects that are going on immediately to the north and south, which will looks like they'll be finished by 2031? So, because the way you're describing it would be those two projects would finish, and then this one connecting them would start. And I'm just asking, like, practically, is
Yes, yes. We normally we connect with the project within that project. So yes, when they started copying, then we get with the other project, get some information from them. Trying to make sure that everything's streamlined. Make sure that everything flowing together. So yeah, we're gonna connect with the other projects within this project to make sure that everything flows.
okay. Jennifer, it looked like you might have. Did you want to chime in?
Well, I was just
Or
curious. I mean,
Councilwoman?
maybe some people would like to understand how you construct the bridge that's going to connect to existing roads and keep it open while construction is happening, right? Like, are you building a bridge next to it that then comes over? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so that's part of when you're scoping. They have to determine how they're gonna do that to accommodate to keep the traffic flowing. So they will look at sometimes they may say, okay, well, we may have to do a detour. It does available detour to move the traffic around. Well, looking at this, I think with the river, it's gonna be difficult to have a detour that with too much traffic. So they may have to do a staging. They may have to, the existing bridge is gonna be there, then they'll build a new bridge alongside of it and then move traffic. So yeah, we have done this before where we make sure that we keep the traffic flowing while doing the construction of the new one.
I have confidence that you can do it. I just, it's interesting to hear how it's accomplished.
Yeah.
I assume there'll be opportunity for public engagement, open houses, et cetera, with this.
Yes, we always get the public involved. Get with the school district, all those to make sure that every traffic is flowing. Emergency ambulances, make sure that all those things. So we get everybody involved, everybody's input, and then make sure, because at the end of the day, you guys are be the one we're gonna use it. So we're gonna make sure that we are building something that you guys will be okay with.
Okay. May I ask, what would be the best way for the community to stay abreast of as this project moves? I saw that, Mr. Nicholas, thank you for popping the link in the chat for the Historic Gateway project. But is there a link or something for the bridge replacement, just to keep an eye on, what phase it's in, or if it gets delayed, which does happen?
That's a good question. Yeah, like I said, we have during the scoping phase. We do public outreach. During that time, we get involved with the cities or the local government within the area. City of Roswell, Thunder Spring. So right now, that you guys having choice. So I'm gonna reach after this meeting. I'm gonna reach out to the the program manager who's in charge of that area to make sure that he keeps you guys engaged on when this, any new development that comes up. Like I can be reached, anybody can be reached in regard to any question, and we're gonna give you feedback on what's going on.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll keep in touch as well with your team. And yeah, we'll definitely make sure for members of the public that you are aware of any public engagement opportunities around the bridge replacement, since it's at that early stage. Let me pause for a second and see if there are any questions in the chat or in the audience about this. This is kind of big news, so we definitely want to take it in. All right. Okay. So with that, let me see. I wanted to, yeah, I think I'm good. So with that, then, if there are no questions for our visitors today, I want to just thank you all for these 30 plus minutes that you've given me on at the end of, I'm sure, what has been a busy week. You all are amazing. You had no reason to do this other than you're just great people. So I appreciate you so much. And this is going to be very helpful. This video will live, on YouTube, so we'll be able to disseminate the information, and we can make sure we're disseminating actual information. So I just really appreciate y'all for taking the time. Thank you for popping in. I echo Rhonda Smith's sentiments in the chat.
Thank you, Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
It is really great that you do this for your community.
Well, I just started, so no, I'm trying. Thank you. Yep. So I will. All right, guys, we can transition to. Let's see. I have a few announcements to make if y'all want to. And thank you. Oh, that was a great discussion. So excited about what's coming in the North End. So it's a good time. All right, couple of announcements. Hold on. Let me get down. Let me stroll down for a second. Oh, so service delivery strategy negotiations started today. That's kind of important. Let me show you guys a list of what this means. This is a list. I'm going to share my screen. I want y'all to see this. This is what service delivery strategy means, more or less. I want you to check this out. All right. So this is a list of all the services that Fulton County helps us with to some degree, to varying degrees. I mean, not all of these, but these are services, many of these. And so once, I believe, a decade, all of the cities of Fulton County have to sit down with Fulton County and negotiate the manner in which and the details around how these services are delivered. And boy, is it a interesting exercise, or at least I think it is. It just started today. It's my first time doing this, so more to come on that. Just wanted you guys to know we were working on it, and I'm happy to share that list as well. Just wanted to show it to you. All right, another announcement. Sandy Springs Citizens Leadership Academy. I want to say a huge congratulations to all of the District 2 residents who recently graduated. So that is, I'm just going to name you because you're special. So we recently had a graduation. Hold on, let me show you a picture of everyone. This is a picture of everyone from districts, from the entire city. So this is the cohort of Citizens Leadership Academy that just graduated. Citizens Leadership Academy is, I think, approximately an 8 to 9 month program sponsored by the city of Sandy Springs. There's a small fee, but it just immerses our residents in city government, like in detail. So I'm just really proud of this group of residents, and special shout out to my District 2 peeps. And that is Miss Tony Asbury. Shout out to you. Seal and Jim Bullis. Hey guys. Julius Johnson, Brandon Liu, Leslie Mullis, Nicole Matahari, and I believe that is it. Sorry if I forgot anyone. Thank you to my District 2 participants. I'll be reaching out to y'all. Last announcement. I'm currently remember. I was just reading what Suzanne just put in the chat. All right, feel free to set this aside. Oh, until later. Okay, so you mean don't answer it right now? Okay, all right, great. I'll do that. I'll set it aside. And I'll answer it in a sec or later. Okay, let's talk about another North End project. We are replacing Fire Station 1. Just for those of you who don't know the fire station numbers, that is the fire station at Spalding Drive and Roberts Drive. We're replacing that. The construction starts later this year and should be finished by December 2027. Why am I bringing that up? Because temporarily, let me show you what's going to be Fire Station 1. We approved this business, all right, on Tuesday night at our last meeting. So what we're looking at here is 8615 Roswell Road. It is I think it's owned by Aero Pest Control, or yeah, it's right next to the pest control offices on Roswell Road. This is going to temporarily, while Fire Station 1 is being constructed, this is going to be Fire Station 1. So just wanted to let you guys know that in case you see something, you know, as you drive past. Just wanted you to be aware of that. And I'm happy to answer any questions about that timeline. Okay. Let's see. Also, newsletter went out today, this morning. If you're not signed up, be sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter as well. And okay, I think those are my updates. Oh, okay. Now I can answer your question, Suzanne. I believe you are asking about our, gosh, it sounds like that is from Morgan Falls. Okay, great. You are asking about our Springway Trail master plan, which does technically include a stretch of multi-use trail coming near. There is a segment that, according to the master plan, that does come that close to your neighborhood. Yeah, it comes that close to Hunt Cliff in our northernmost section of the city. We are very, very, very far away from even thinking about that one, but it does exist. If that's your question, it does exist in a plan. Right now, we're focused on, like you mentioned, the ones closer to Morgan Falls. The one that is adjacent to Grogan's Bluff is the one we're working on right now, and it's a tough cookie. Yeah, so let's talk about the private development where Stars and Stripes used to be, also known as the North River Village property. So as it currently stands, they are in the permitting process for that redevelopment to do a multi-use project. And we are actually working on a public-private partnership situation that I should have some details on pretty soon. But that the last I heard, and this was maybe last week, that project is they have a development team. They are getting their permits and they expect to break ground in the summer. That was what I last heard. And it should be a 40-month project. So lots of shovels going in the ground in the north. And I can share more details with you. I'll share the most current design. I'll see what I can get in the next week or so with
Cool.
you.
Top line is, are we still stuck with Dollar General and its current footprint and therefore the related surface street parking, or were we able to carve out a cool green space for the community in that development?
Yeah,
And
so yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
we're trying. That's what the public so that part is Sandy Springs saying, basically saying we're willing to participate in this project if you can guarantee us the things you just said. So
That would
um
be awesome.
so when so you know, I can't say yes, but I could say
Right.
that we are certainly working on it.
If there's anything that you need from Hunt Cliff, you know how vocal this neighborhood will get and fired up this neighborhood will get about things that improve property prices. So happy to, I can't remember who our HOA connection is, but like I would volunteer to go around and have people sign stuff to put pressure on them to do green space. So I'm volunteering myself for that. And then also, I remember at the meeting, they talked about either going, if we would let them go from a 4-story to a 5-story use if they included workforce housing or income-based housing.
Yes, so
Any news on that?
yeah, so we had a height bonus. You'll recall is for workforce housing or retail or a certain amount of retail. They are taking the retail option.
Got it.
So they're gonna so that's what they're gonna exchange for the height.
Okay, and in case I'm not on those meetings, the last thing was to it did not appear to me that the plans were very biking or walking centric. And since I'm down on the river rowing every week, there are huge groups of cyclists who go on the river every single week. And so I think it would be really smart for the success of that the retail environment to cater to large groups of people who are riding bikes or who are walking or running on the river. I think that'll be vital to the success of that endeavor. So like bike parking and things like that.
Yep, I know. I know that's yeah, you're right. I cannot speak to the biking piece, but um specifically cyclist facilities, but I can definitely speak to the incorporation of trail or multi-use paths. I was trying to find the wonder where that is. I was trying to find the most recent mock-up that we had from it, and I should be able to pull that up in just a second. Just so you can kind of see what we're going for at a high level. You may have already, have you seen anything on this recently, Suzanne, if you don't mind me
No, the last I
asking?
saw was when we did that meeting in the office building across the way.
All right, let me
But
show you
don't
what I'm
hold up
talking
everyone else for me.
about. Okay, well, I'm not, okay, so yeah, this is the part of the meeting where I just kick it with people. So I'm not, and unless there's more, yeah, I'm not. So I appreciate everybody, um, especially our visitors. I just want to say once again, I do appreciate you guys for coming today. I don't think we have any more questions at this time. We'll keep an eye on the projects, and we just thank you all for the relationship. It means a
Love
lot.
you. We
It
love you,
truly does.
visitors. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I don't mean to
Okay,
hold you up, but I am about to pull this up for you, Suzanne.
okay,
Just give me
okay.
a second.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Anyabelsi.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas. I'm sorry, I didn't make that clear. When I spoke earlier. So, all right, let's look at our retreat packet. I hate I have to go through all this. I should have streamlined it, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm actually going to share a link to this in the chat real quick so you can look it up in some detail. Now, this is the Suzanne, this is the update we received last month. I'm going to blow it up or see if I can blow it up. I think I can. Hold on. There we go. Now that's just, oh, I'm not even sharing. Sorry. All right, Suzanne. My bad. So this is just like I said, this is a high level drawing of what we're going for here. And so you'll see over the blue piece is maybe about 100 townhomes. Part of the deal that we're interested in is not just focused on the Dollar General, which is important, but it's also focused on trying to make sure that those townhomes are owner occupied or for sale product, if you will. So that's part of
Yes.
the deal we're trying to strike. And you can see there is going to definitely be some multifamily over on the other side. And then in between, you can kind of see a path and some definitely, like you mentioned, green space with the retail, which is shaded in that pink color. And so that's high level what we're going for.
Is Roswell Road on the top or on the bottom?
I'm sorry, Roswell Road's going to be on the top in this one. Yep, Roswell Road's on the top.
And so then that gray area will be the multifamily.
Yeah,
And then
parking
the
deck.
green and pink inside is going to be the retail.
Yeah, yeah, with the green space. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow. So it looks like Dollar General finally caved on the parking.
we do not know yet that this is what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to achieve this through a public-private partnership model. So one of the things that makes this different than conversations we've had before is the city is willing to participate now and put
Yay.
skin in the game to get to move in this direction. So
That is very exciting. And then
and
for that retail in the area, is that meant to be like everyone is doing now with those cool hangout spaces where you can bring the kids and have drinks and maybe there will be entertainment and blah, blah, blah. Or even if there's not entertainment, at least very clearly public space for people to hang.
yeah, that's exactly it. You'll actually appreciate as a fun fact the our master developer has enlisted the landscape architect, the same landscape architect that did Avalon, and also uh, so they're to your point, they are pulling from some of the other successful projects around us as an inspiration. But we just got to get over that hump that
Get
you
on
know
it.
about also well.
Get it, girl. You tell me
Oh
what you
my
need.
gosh.
I got you.
Don't have me on here cackling. Don't do me like that. Oh gosh. Um, any other updates I can help with for anybody in the still in the chat?
And are they doing anything about the strip mall outside of Hunt Cliff, the one where Sandy Springs Diner is?
Nope.
Nope. And any other assemblages along our area, along our strip of like from Northridge to the river?
Not that I can talk about. But that
Ooh.
doesn't don't that's not a ooh. It's just there might be something that you'll appreciate, but I'm not comfortable talking about it on in public right
No worries. Okay.
now.
Yeah, I generally feel like the city as a whole, driving through the city has just kind of declined physically and is less appealing to drive through than even a couple years ago. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but I drive over to Johns Creek a lot to play pickleball and other towns. And I don't know, it just seems like it's gone down and it's making me depressed.
Okay. Well, you know what? There's that what you're describing, what you're putting your finger on is that there's a lot of opportunity and we're going to be new and shiny again at some point. Those are, we go through cycles. So that's all.
I hear you. Thank you
We're
so
doing
much, Melody.
everything cities
Yes.
do. Yep.
Hey, Dr. Kelly, I have a question.
Hey,
One of the
hey.
things that often comes up for me that I'm curious about, how the decisions are being made is with the type of businesses that receive permits in our city. It's always shocking when I see a new smoke shop going up and even the location of such things. And I was just driving down Roswell Road yesterday and saw yet another one that's coming. And so the question is there consideration with city planning, city permitting about the type of businesses within a certain mileage or distance to reduce the number or concentration? So even those businesses that are coming up can be successful.
Okay. So you're on the planning commission, Sherwin. So we have these conversations. You also know that we have a comprehensive planning exercise coming. We have those conversations, but can I counter your argument?
Please.
Okay. So this is what Sherwin and I do. So we're gonna just do this publicly. Um, to what extent should a city government involve itself in market dynamics? You know what I mean? Like ensuring, like the way, how did you say it? Ensuring, helping, limiting the amount of business so that businesses can thrive and
Or
like, is
the
that?
Yeah, the type of businesses. So I don't actually know the answer to the question. I know that there are cities in North Fulton that have limitations on the number of types of businesses that can be within a certain radius. So they may limit the number of um, service stations or the number of
Nail salons or
hair salons exactly within a particular area to encourage diversity of business. And it also impacts what Suzanne was talking about in terms of the look, the feel, the personality, the character of different parts of our city. So I'm always shocked when I see that Sandy Springs, who I think is kind of going through this stage of trying to figure out who we are, who we are, and what we're going to be in the future, that our planning doesn't, and our permitting process doesn't seem to have a take for that. And I get that it's, hey, it's a free market, et cetera, but we're also a community-based, city, and we don't want businesses coming and going, and we want to have a certain appeal.
What does that mean?
I think an appeal for, okay, so, having quality employers, having high paying jobs that are available, um, I would love for what I hear, I don't have young children, but what I hear from a lot of people is having spaces where they can take their kids that are entertainment type facilities. I don't know what the answer to this is. I'm asking it because
Yeah.
I'm always just a little confused. And it's like it's a headling to the side when I see another one name
Yeah.
come up. It's like, well, hmm, how
Yeah.
are these decisions being made other than you qualify because you are a business and you're willing to pay the rent in said space by that landlord? It just seems to be very, very, yeah. It doesn't seem to be strategic.
Yeah, it's not very restrictive. I mean, but to be fair to us, we are restrictive around fuel stations. You'll probably, I think you know that. We do have that sort of, like you said, that radius, that limitation with gas stations, and that comes up every couple years. But it sounds like, to some degree, you are asking about expanding that to other uses.
I
And
am.
I know.
Based on what the need is, we leave all of it up to the private companies. And look, this is tricky because I also know there's um, a view out there that Sandy Springs is difficult to do business in as well. Again, I am asking, I do not know the solution or the answer.
Mhm.
But it's something I want to learn more about. I have asked about taking a class so that I can get more up to speed on this, because it just has to be more strategic, in my opinion. That does not reduce business opportunity.
Right.
But we want to have the right variety of businesses available. We plan for the number of schools we're going to have. We plan for the number of gas stations. I think we can go a couple of levels deeper on that.
Okay, I will. All right, Suzanne, I saw you come off mute. I know I know you want to chime in.
Yeah, I think that the public-private partnership, I think, is a thoughtful a way that I'm comfortable thinking about things, in the sense of the city is responsible for managing city assets and providing services and, running our community. And as such, we do have the ability through regulation, through code, and through things like that to encourage, incentivize, discourage what we're trying to accomplish in our community. And so I think Sherwin raises a good point, which is, what is it that are a couple good points? What is it that is giving our city a reputation of being a pain in the ass to work with, such that private interests that are happily and readily building in Roswell, for example, or Dunwoody, are overlooking us because time is money?
And Brookhaven.
Yeah, and Brookhaven. So I see all this development going on elsewhere, and I know it's knowable. I don't know what it is, but I know it's all knowable and I know it's all doable. And I certainly personally have an appetite. I mean, having grown up here in Georgia, having grown up in Roswell, and seeing a lot of the zoning and the zoning decisions that other communities in North Fulton have taken, in terms of, hey, we want our city to look this way. All the signage is going to look this way. We're going to have an architectural feel that any business that opens up here is part of, and we help pay for it because we want our city not to feel like just an endless, road that you would drive off of any freeway. You know what I'm saying? When you get off an exit ramp and all you're doing is getting the Taco Bell and, the McDonald's or whatever. So I definitely have an appetite and would support more public-private partnership in terms of the aesthetics of our city, so that it feels like a city that has cool businesses, not a main road with personally branded individual businesses that could mean we could literally be anywhere in the country.
Mhm.
Melody.
Hey, yes.
Hey,
Let me.
so
Oh,
I
yes.
can offer a little bit of perspective here, and I think we've heard this in other places, and I don't know if Chris Burnett expressed it during the retreat about the vacancy rate, which is incredibly low in Sandy Springs, in the retail sector. Probably certainly less than 10%, maybe probably no more than about 5%. So the businesses and the storefronts that we do have are occupied. Obviously, the ones that you see that are vacant are the ones you focus on because they're vacant. The Rusty Nail, the Hammocks building, the buildings between Chaseland and Cromwell over near the Aldi Plaza. You see those because they stick out in your mind because they've been vacant for so long. But our retail occupancy rate is really, really high. And one of the hardest parts about our retail places, spaces, and parcels is there is so much disparate ownership. We have, from the days of Roswell Road literally being a single family strip of homes. In the 40s, that's what it was. And there are buildings and parcels that have never, ever changed their size or shape because that's what they were back in the 40s and 50s. And you've got ownership, familial ownership, that has changed hands through their families. And a good example is the Orkin folks, Lunsford. A lot of that is concentrated near City Springs, where families have owned properties for years and their incentive to improve and to do better is pretty minimal based on the fact that their spaces are occupied. I do know for a fact that there's been some conversation, and you can corroborate this, Melody, about an incentive program for some facade improvements. I know Councilwoman Mueller has talked a little bit about maybe an opportunity there, and our design guidelines, which have been adopted, is something that hopefully our next comprehensive plan will bring those in a little bit to tie in maybe a development code update. Right now, those design guidelines are only kicking in when it comes to a redevelopment opportunity. So there you go. Explore options to create a City Springs facade improvement program. Starting small, little spaces, little bits at a time. Again, I think the sore thumbs stick out to everybody, and because our parcel ownership is small and disparate, creating assemblages and creating synergy between those parcels is incredibly hard.
So Rhonda, thanks for sharing that. And with the new design guidelines, I know that there are guidelines, there are suggestions to those owners. Is there any discussion around the city partnering to create financial incentives for them to do that?
I think the facade improvement grant is probably the first foray into that thought process. I don't think that there's going to be a wholesale program. I think that the appetite to pay private property owners to improve their spaces, when you would expect that they would want to do that just to be more attractive to renters, would be something you'd have an expectation. Coming from a small business family and having that posture about ownership in a small space, I understand that it's meaningful and smart to look good, but I also understand that you're probably not going to put lipstick on something else something that someone else owns. That's the hard part. And one thing I would like to caution when we were having the design guidelines conversation. One thing that I was really vocal about with the consultant group was, let's be careful how much we homogenize things. You don't want to take away the branding aspect of small businesses. Small businesses sometimes rely solely on the fact that you recognize who they are based on their logo. And a great example, next time you come to City Springs, go look next to Flower Child and see what the dermatology storefront, and there's one more storefront next to it that both have the same signage. I have no real reason to jump up and down and say, hey, that looks really cool. I'd like to figure out who they are, because they've differentiated themselves with their branding. Homogenizing branding it can be a little bit dangerous when it comes to small business and the free market.
Well, on the design guide, totally agree. On the design guidelines, that space that is considered public space, right? So you go from the building, and then you have the part that's going to the sidewalk.
Yeah, what they call the public realm.
The public realm. Is there? I guess there's not going to be any redevelopment around that with those existing parcels.
Well, I think, and Melody, maybe you can confirm here, when we build new sidewalks, there you are. So when we install new sidewalks and we create the public realm, I would expect that if it's a city project, we are going to install the street furniture, the lighting, the curb treatments, whether it's a 2-foot landscape strip with plantings or a 5-foot landscape strip behind the curb with trees. We would be responsible for that if it is a city public realm project. Wholesale redevelopment like North River Plaza that Melody discussed a little earlier, I would absolutely expect that they're going to be responsible for making the public realm what the design guidelines call for. And again, with disparate ownership, this is hard. This is really, really hard to bring it all together. Unless
disparate ownership that we inherited.
Yes,
that we
100%.
inherited, right?
100%.
And then the grant that's currently available, is that a state grant or is that city?
We're creating that. So what I showed you was from our retreat that we had in February. That's coming through our economic development team in coordination with our development authority.
Well, this is for the facade that's that's
Yeah,
coming through those city guidelines.
that's what I'm
Any
referring to as the
Okay,
facade
gotcha.
grant. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
coming through us. It's there are a few cities who have done it. I think Chambly or has done one. I mean, it's fairly common. So,
Okay.
but to Rhonda's point, those two exercises are coupled. So it's the incentive, which is the facade grant program, and then the guidelines, which is how it looks. But all of that speaks to what some of what you and Suzanne kind of brought up. So
Hey, Rhonda, I appreciate what you said about signage. Personally, I'm actually completely fine with signage being branded because it does help me recognize a brand. What I'm talking about more is the overall look of, okay, we're going to use, I'm just making stuff up. We're going to use, stone pillars, or we're going to use metal pillars, or like when we did all the beautiful green street lamps going through, right, all the way down Roswell Road. To me, that's an example of design guidelines because you've got these beautiful street lights going through the whole thing. So then if it's okay, if you're in Roswell or Milton, when there are strip malls, they all have, for example, that horse rail, that white horse rail, right, that differentiates the property. So that's what I'm talking about, not taking away the branding, but making that transition from public to private look high quality and consistent throughout the city. And I would say as a taxpayer, I would love to incentivize or provide tax breaks, or again, for that middle ground that you talked about, not just the public space, but that transition of the private. Like, and my husband's from the UK. So you go to the UK and you go to little towns, they are all incentivized. There's financial incentives, or maybe the city pays for flower baskets. Everybody has flower baskets outside of their stores, and it makes the whole city just look gorgeous. So I'm all for helping a privately owned business, providing them incentives, financial incentives. Hey, if you let us do this and we'll pay for this and you pay for this or you get this, so that it feels nice to drive down our city and it feels nice to walk around our properties. And I absolutely understand the challenge, but we're not going to let challenges get in our way. Where there is a will, there is a way,
right,
and
and
it's just a
that's
matter
why
of
you
figuring
see,
out how to do those together. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why we're doing these two exercises to move in that direction to get to that point,
That's
coupling the incentive with the guidelines. It's not
yeah.
just guidelines, not just an incentive, both together. So that's already in the works, and
Yay.
hopefully we'll see some of these properties take advantage of it. So I think that's like perfect feedback. I shared a link in the chat just to give y'all a sense of where we are, and what if there are any upcoming opportunities to provide feedback. But I think we're past the public meetings stage. I could be wrong, but I think we are. Yeah, I think we are about to. I think you're about to see the Sherwin and Planning Commission, the design guidelines. So
Yeah, we actually saw them during our retreat. The consultant came in and presented the latest area and talked about the new district that's going to be going in. So yeah, they look good.
okay,
Thank you as always, Dr. Kelly.
no problem. Any anything anything? Oh, let me also touch on this because you all y'all weren't just talking about the way things look. Y'all were kind of talking about uses. So we are working, our legal team and our police chief, we are working on some language around our massage parlors and being a little more restrictive from a land use perspective on those for the obvious reason. I mean, based on what was just in the news. And there may be room. There may be room to look at other things. So let's stay engaged and we'll figure it out. Because I tell you this, Dunwoody is considering eliminating vape shops as a use, or vape shops as weed stores that are 100% smoking supplies. I think they're going to impose a limitation on that. So, to your point, Sherwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
Roswell
can
has
be
done
done.
Roswell has done quite a bit around that in limiting new permits for certain types of businesses, particular in certain areas, of the city. And so it's happening around us pretty aggressively. Yeah. And I've, spoken with business owners who've been affected by it. So I know it's possible to do it without stifling businesses, and stifling growth, to make that limited vacancy available for the type of businesses we want here and not another vape shop.
Yeah, just have to be careful. But
yep.
no,
That's why we have smart people like you guys running things.
or like
Y'all can figure it
like
out.
Funny. Yeah. John, is there John, let me can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you for hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's good. It's good to catch up on things and to learn about what's happening in your part of the city. I'm John Maximuk, and I'm the new executive director of the Sandy Springs Conservancy, and we promote open space conservation, open space protection, and trails to connect them. So I've just finished my third week on the job, so there's a lot of learning going on, and this is great for me. Happy to
Welcome.
partner with Councilwoman Kelly on the May 23rd event. The our
We're gonna do a
our
Trailblazers walk.
trailblazing, yeah,
Yeah.
and well, I'm working with your team on that.
Yeah. Thank you. Shout out to Raylan for coordinating that. I'm excited. Welcome to Sandy Springs. I don't know how, I assume you're pretty familiar with the city. I'm just gonna make that assumption, but welcome. And we are here if you need us, and looking forward to our May 23rd event at the Springway Trail. The goal there, John, and I'm sure Raylan probably mentioned this, the goal is to start activating these spaces that we spend millions of dollars building, right? So
Okay.
that's a multi-million dollar project, and we just want to see it put to its best and highest use. So we're going to take a Saturday morning, see if we can get some families out there. What time are we starting? Raylan, can you, or John, can y'all
I think
speak to that?
8.
We're starting at 8?
8
We're
or
starting at,
9?
okay.
We're starting at 9 a.m.
Okay.
9, sorry.
Okay.
All
9
right.
So
Just
9
wanted to see you're
a.m.
paying attention.
So 9 a.m. we are Raylan, can you say a little bit about what we're planning? It's Sandy Springs Conservancy, and I mean hey Sherwin, Laundry Lounge, y'all might want to be a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still planning things out, but I will say that it's really a laid back kind of environment, kind of a walk and talk with your councilwoman. That's not an official name, but that is the vibe that we're going for. So we're working to get multifamily community involved, and just really anyone that needs to get familiar with Dr. Kelly and familiar with District 2. I want to say we are we're thinking about some really fun elements. It's going to be a family event. So we're thinking like a creative element for children to engage. Dr. Kelly mentioned a few days ago, maybe face paint, maybe balloonist, just something that's really fun, and yeah, that's kind of it. We just want to get people out and engaging with the community.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a little morning party.
Yeah, like a little mini festival.
Yeah, a little morning party. So yeah, we're gonna get some give away some books, and got some other giveaways, and we definitely want to make sure the Sandy Springs Conservancy gets exposure, and you all get to engage some of the families here in the north. So,
That'd be great. Thank you.
yeah, excited about that. Oh yeah, definitely. We are going to do some flyers. We're getting that together now. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, John, if you have anything else over time, any other events, feel free to share them with us. We'll pop them into the newsletter and stuff. And we wish you the best on your journey with, I don't know if you knew the other Melody who used to be the executive director of Sandy Springs Conservancy.
I do. I know her.
Yeah, she's the real Melody. That's what I call her. But yeah, it's yeah, you're in a. I'm excited for you. I really am.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. With that, I am going to close this episode of North End Live. We did a lot tonight, y'all. Hey, pat myself. We did a lot tonight. Tonight was a big night. Sherwin, thanks for being here. Planning Commission. Actually, I need you to come back and give us like a specific Planning Commission update, if you're willing.
You ask, I show.
Okay, so that's actually, believe it or not, that's my plan for April. I want to hear from our Board of Appeals rep, and I want to hear from you about what's going on your board, So,
Yeah, happy to share that.
Okay, cool. Yep. All right, well, thank you, Raylan. Thank you, John. And with that, I will bid you all a good evening. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye. See you, Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda, thanks for coming in. I should have introduced you.
That's okay. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I will next time. I'm gonna.
No worry. Nah, that's okay. No worry.